What if I told you that one vehicle, one single SUV, could completely rewrite the story of an American automotive legend? What if the brand that once dominated driveways across this country, the nameplate that millions of families trusted for decades, was quietly engineering its most ambitious comeback yet? We're talking about a machine that could shake the luxury SUV market to its core in 2027. And before this video ends, you're going to understand exactly why the automotive world is watching Chrysler more closely than it has in years. Welcome back to Auto Elite World, the channel where we break down the vehicles that actually matter. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because we cover the kind of content that car enthusiasts and luxury buyers can't find anywhere else. And today, gentlemen, we are going deep on a vehicle that could change everything for Chrysler. Stay locked in, because what's coming in this script is going to surprise you. Let's set the stage first, because context is everything here. Chrysler as a brand has had a complicated decade. The lineup shrank, the competition exploded, and consumer expectations shifted dramatically toward premium technology and refined luxury experiences. For a long time, critics were writing Chrysler off entirely. But here's what those critics missed. Chrysler's parent organization has been investing heavily behind the scenes, quietly developing a flagship SUV that's designed specifically to compete at the highest level of the American luxury market. The buzz around this vehicle has been building inside automotive circles for months now. Dealers are talking, insiders are whispering, and the early intelligence on what this SUV could bring to the table is nothing short of remarkable. This is the kind of vehicle that doesn't just move a brand forward, it redefines what that brand stands for. Now, let's talk about what we know on the exterior design side, because this is where things get genuinely exciting. Based on everything anticipated from Chrysler's design direction, this SUV is expected to carry a completely new visual identity that moves far away from the cautious, conservative shapes the brand relied on in recent years. Early indications suggest a design philosophy that blends dramatic sculptural surfacing with clean, purposeful lines. Think wide, commanding proportions with a front fascia that's expected to feature a bold, illuminated grille treatment, an element that signals premium positioning immediately. The hood line is reportedly longer and lower than previous Chrysler SUVs, giving the vehicle a more athletic, planted stance on the road. Along the sides, strong character lines are anticipated to flow rearward from the front wheel arches, adding visual tension and forward momentum, even when the vehicle is standing still. At the rear, a full-width LED light bar could connect the taillights in a single unbroken sweep, which is the kind of premium signature move we've been seeing on European rivals for years. Chrysler appears ready to play that same game and potentially play it better. The overall silhouette is expected to sit in a size class that's larger than a midsize crossover, but stops short of being a full three-row behemoth, targeting the sweet spot where luxury buyers want maximum presence without sacrificing driving dynamics. Step inside, and this is where the real story of this SUV's ambitions becomes crystal clear. Chrysler is reportedly approaching the interior of this vehicle as a genuine luxury sanctuary rather than just a well-equipped cabin. What's anticipated here is a layout centered around a massive curved display architecture, spanning nearly the entire width of the dashboard, housing both the driver instrument cluster and the primary infotainment interface in one seamless visual flow. Premium material choices are expected throughout, with real aluminum accents, hand-stitched leather seating surfaces, and open-pore wood trim options that communicate genuine craftsmanship rather than the simulated luxury that lesser vehicles offer. The seating is anticipated to offer multiple configurations, with the front seats expected to feature multi-axis massage functions, extended thigh support, and ventilation systems that respond to cabin temperature automatically. Rear passengers could be treated to an equally impressive experience, with individual climate zones, available reclining rear seat functionality, and rear seat entertainment screens that integrate natively with the vehicle's core technology ecosystem. Headroom and shoulder room in both rows are expected to be class-leading, with Chrysler's engineers reportedly prioritizing passenger space as a core competitive advantage. Ambient lighting, with a wide spectrum of color options, is also anticipated, allowing drivers to personalize the interior atmosphere. Everything about what's been described internally suggests that Chrysler is not interested in being second place on interior quality. They want this cabin to make buyers question why they ever considered a German alternative. Speaking of technology, let's talk about what could power the digital experience inside this vehicle, because this is one of the most compelling chapters of the entire story. The infotainment platform expected in this Chrysler SUV is anticipated to represent a complete generational leap from anything the brand has offered previously. We're looking at a system that's reportedly built on a much faster processing architecture, delivering near-instant response times that eliminate the lag and hesitation that plagued earlier Chrysler software. Native integration with both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is expected as standard, but the interesting angle here is that Chrysler's own interface is reportedly being designed to be compelling enough that some owners might actually prefer it over the mirrored alternatives. A large head-up display is anticipated to project key navigation, speed, and driver assistance information onto the windshield in full color, keeping eyes on the road. The audio system expected in higher trim levels could be supplied by a premium acoustic partner, with speaker counts and amplifier power levels that would satisfy even the most demanding audio enthusiasts. Over-the-air update capability is expected to be built into the core architecture, meaning the vehicle's software, features, and even certain performance parameters could be enhanced after purchase without a dealership visit. Voice recognition with natural language processing is also anticipated, allowing drivers to control navigation, climate, media, and vehicle settings through conversational commands rather than rigid pre-programmed phrases. If Chrysler delivers even 70% of what's been described in technology terms, they'll be offering a genuinely compelling digital experience for the first time in a very long time. Now let's get into what everyone really wants to know about: the powertrain. Because a stunning design and a luxurious interior only matter if what's under the hood can back it all up. And based on what's anticipated for this SUV, Chrysler appears to be taking a serious approach to performance as well as efficiency. The base powertrain option is expected to be a turbocharged 6-cylinder engine, producing somewhere in the range of 350 to 400 horsepower, paired with an advanced multi-speed automatic transmission and standard all-wheel drive. That would give this SUV genuinely strong performance numbers in everyday driving without sacrificing fuel economy. But here's where it gets more interesting. A plug-in hybrid configuration is reportedly in development for this platform, which would combine an internal combustion engine with an electric motor to deliver even greater output, somewhere estimated in the neighborhood of 450 to 500 horsepower combined, while also offering a meaningful all-electric range for daily commuting. This hybrid powertrain could be a significant selling point for buyers who want performance and premium positioning, but are also aware of fuel costs and environmental considerations. There is also persistent speculation, though nothing confirmed, about a fully electric variant of this platform arriving slightly later in the product cycle, which would position Chrysler to compete in the rapidly expanding luxury electric SUV segment as well. The transmission is expected to be smooth and responsive, with paddle shifters available in sport-oriented trim levels for drivers who want more engagement. Towing capability is anticipated to be competitive for the class, likely in the range of 5,000 to 6,000 pounds in properly equipped configurations. And speaking of driving, let's talk about what it's actually expected to feel like behind the wheel, because this is where Chrysler has historically had room to improve, and where this new SUV could make the biggest statement of all. The platform underpinning this vehicle is reportedly an evolution of a modern architecture that prioritizes both structural rigidity and ride quality, with a low center of gravity that should translate directly into more confident, composed handling. The suspension setup is expected to be an adaptive air system that constantly monitors road conditions and driver inputs, adjusting damping rates in real time to deliver the right blend of comfort and control for any situation. In its comfort setting, the ride is anticipated to be impressively smooth and refined, the kind of isolation from road imperfections that makes long highway drives genuinely relaxing. Shift into a sport mode, and the system could firm everything up, tighten the steering response, and sharpen throttle mapping to give the SUV a more focused, athletic character. Variable ratio steering is expected to make low-speed maneuverability easy while feeling precise and connected at highway speeds, Wheel sizes in upper trim levels could reach 22 inches, which is visually impressive but also something buyers should keep in mind from a ride quality perspective in colder climates where road surfaces deteriorate. Overall, the driving experience description that's been circulating suggests something markedly improved over previous Chrysler products, with a level of refinement that could genuinely surprise people who haven't experienced this brand recently. Safety is an area where this SUV is expected to set a new standard for Chrysler, and frankly, for the competitive set it's targeting. The driver assistance suite anticipated for this vehicle goes well beyond basic requirements. Expect a multi-sensor system combining radar, cameras, and ultrasonic detection working together to manage adaptive cruise control with stop-and-go capability, lane centering technology, automatic emergency braking, and pedestrian detection. Blind spot monitoring is expected across most trim levels, with active intervention capability that can apply gentle steering correction if the driver begins to change lanes while a vehicle is present in the danger zone. The parking experience is reportedly being addressed with a 360-degree surround view camera system, offering high-resolution imagery, plus an automated parking assist function that can handle both parallel and perpendicular parking maneuvers with minimal driver input. Rear cross-traffic alert with braking is expected, as is a trailer sway mitigation system for buyers who plan to tow. On higher trim levels, a driver attention monitoring system could watch for signs of drowsiness or distraction and prompt the driver to take a break before a dangerous situation develops. A night vision camera is reportedly being considered for the top trim specification, giving drivers enhanced awareness of pedestrians and animals beyond the reach of standard headlights. Chrysler is clearly aware that safety scores matter enormously to luxury SUV buyers, and this vehicle appears designed to earn the highest possible ratings from every relevant testing organization. Now, let's talk about the number that often makes or breaks a vehicle's success in the marketplace: pricing. Based on what's anticipated for positioning and content, this Chrysler SUV is estimated to enter the market at a starting price somewhere in the range of $60,000 to $65,000 for a well-equipped base configuration. Mid-tier trims with the expanded technology packages and enhanced powertrains could likely land in the $70,000 to $85,000 range. And fully loaded top specification examples, particularly if a performance or hybrid variant is included, could potentially push above $90,000 in the most ambitious configurations. Now, here's the strategic angle that makes this pricing conversation fascinating. Chrysler would be positioning this vehicle aggressively below some of its European competition at comparable content levels, which creates a genuine value argument for buyers who are cross-shopping luxury SUVs. In a market where a fully equipped German three-row luxury SUV can easily breach $100,000 with options, Chrysler offering a comparable luxury experience for $10,000 to $20,000 less could be a highly effective weapon. The challenge, of course, is brand perception. Can Chrysler convince buyers that their product deserves a place in that conversation? That's the central question this vehicle needs to answer, which brings us naturally to how this SUV stacks up against the rivals it's going after. The competition in the upper-tier American luxury SUV space is fierce. You've got the Lincoln Navigator and Aviator representing domestic excellence with strong emotional brand stories. The Cadillac Escalade and XT6 offer undeniable presence and brand cachet. On the import side, the BMW X5 and X7 continue to set benchmarks for driving dynamics and technology. The Mercedes-Benz GLE and GLS dominate when it comes to interior prestige and engineering reputation. The Audi Q7 and Q8 appeal to buyers who want sophisticated design and understated luxury. So, where does the anticipated Chrysler fit? The answer, based on everything we've outlined, is that it could occupy a genuinely compelling position as the vehicle that combines American market sensibility with a feature-rich interior and competitive performance at a price point that undercuts the European competition meaningfully. Against domestic rivals like Lincoln, the Chrysler's technology story and powertrain range could provide a decisive edge. Against German alternatives, the value proposition could be the deciding factor for buyers who have always wanted to enter that segment, but found the cost of ownership difficult to justify. It won't unseat the Escalade from its cultural throne overnight, but it doesn't need to. It needs to carve out its own loyal following among buyers who have been waiting for exactly this kind of product from an American brand. So, what actually makes this vehicle special in a world that's full of premium SUV choices? The answer comes down to something that can't be measured in horsepower figures or screen diagonal measurements. It's about what this vehicle represents. Chrysler has been counted out by analysts, overlooked by critics, and dismissed by segments of the automotive press for years. This SUV, if it delivers on even a significant portion of its anticipated promise, is a statement that the story isn't finished. American automotive engineering still has the ambition and the capability to challenge at the highest level. This is a brand that built some of the most iconic vehicles in American automotive history, from the legendary muscle cars of the 60s to the minivans that defined a generation of family transportation. Recapturing that engineering ambition and channeling it into a modern luxury SUV that appeals to today's most discerning buyers is exactly the kind of bold move that changes narratives. Beyond the brand story, the vehicle itself is anticipated to deliver a combination of features, space, technology, performance, and value that's genuinely difficult to match in its class. That's not cheerleading for an American brand. That's an objective assessment of what this SUV could represent if development goes according to plan. So here's the final verdict. The anticipated Chrysler flagship SUV for 2027 represents the brand's most important and ambitious product effort in at least a decade, possibly longer. Everything we know and anticipate points toward a vehicle that could genuinely compete with the best in the premium American and European luxury SUV segment. The design direction sounds bold and purposeful. The interior ambitions are high, with premium materials and advanced technology expected throughout. The powertrain lineup, including the potential plug-in hybrid option, positions the vehicle for both performance enthusiasts and efficiency-minded luxury buyers. The safety technology suite is expected to be comprehensive and class competitive. And the pricing strategy, if executed correctly, could give Chrysler a meaningful advantage against European competition. Will this vehicle single-handedly restore Chrysler to the top of the American automotive market? That's a tall order, and the brand still has significant perception challenges to overcome. But could it be the first critical step in rebuilding that story? Absolutely. This is a vehicle worth watching, worth test driving when it arrives, and worth taking very seriously as a legitimate luxury SUV contender. The comeback might be more real than anyone expected. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest automotive innovations, make sure to subscribe to Auto Elite World, turn on notifications, and let us know in the comments what you think about this vehicle. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.